If you are in real estate and you are not building a database right now, you are leaving tons and tons of money on the table. In this video, I'm going to break down the 4-step process that you can start today so that you can start building a database that is going to print you money in the future. And I'm talking about in the next 4 to 5 years, you can have a database that is absolutely printing money, just like I have done with my team. And I can say this because I have built my team to do over 720 transactions for over $660 million in just the last 5 years. And just the first 5 years in the business, we have done this much. And for me in my personal business, I only sold for 2 years and I still get well over 6 figures in GCI for my personal clients. And I haven't picked up the phone to make a call in a handful of years. So in this video, I'm gonna break down this 4-step process that you can start right now today. That is one, gonna get you business for right now today, but it'll help you build this database for the future. My name is Christian Stubbs. I'm an owner of Onyx Homes, and this is Start to Finish in Real Estate, where I want to share with you everything that I've learned so you can help build a better real estate business. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to be talking about today is that you have to have a CRM. I don't know how any real estate agents don't use a CRM. Well, I know exactly how they do it. They just choose to leave hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. Honestly, I see it all the time, where I'll see an agent that has, oh, I don't need a CRM, I've got everything on my phone. Yet they have 10,000 unread emails and 1,000 unread text messages. And if you're trying to tell me there's not money left on the table there, I promise you there is. So the first thing is to have a CRM. Now, what is a CRM? It is just how you manage your database. This is how you're going to manage and build relationships at scale. Now, with your CRM, the first thing you have to do is you want to segment your people. So you're going to segment these into top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel, right? Top, middle, and bottom. And if you are familiar with what a sales funnel is, you're going to have most of your leads that aren't moving anytime soon that are in the top of the funnel, your middle of the funnel, and then you're going to have the bottom funnel, which is people that are looking to move right now. So you want to make sure you are filtering out your database so that you know how often you need to communicate with these different people. So here's how I do this in my database. Most people choose to do some version of hot, warm, or cold, or A, B, and C. And the reality is, it's just, what does A mean? What does B actually mean? So we actually just say where these people are at in a sales process. So somebody that is nurture or even a past client is going to go up in the top of the funnel. And then we put the stages as either nurture or past client. In the middle of funnel are people who we are talking to and setting appointments with, but we haven't signed them up as clients. This is a spoke to customer, appointment set, appointment met. In the bottom of funnel, we have a handful of different stages for where they're at in the deal activity. We have showing homes, which means we've met with them more than once rather. We have listing agreement signed, active listing, submitting offers, and under contract. So these are people who we have met with multiple times. We have either signed a buyer agreement, we're having a signed listing agreement, we have an active listing, whatever it might be. This is our next 90 days money. So number one is you have a CRM and you are segmenting your entire list. And please don't just do this in hot, warm, or cold. In my opinion, I think it's lazy versus talking about where somebody's actually at in the process. So that's number one, is just setting up the structure of your database. Now, number two is going to be how you're actually communicating with those people in your database. So step number two is very simple. Your top of funnel people, which is your nurturers and your past clients, you're going to follow up with anywhere from 30 to 60 days. Now, past clients, maybe you can bump that out to 90 days, but for us, we have a nurture and a long-term nurture that is 30 and 60 days. Past clients are 90 days. Now, the middle of funnel, these are people you're talking to, you're setting a first appointment, you're meeting the first time. We need to be in constant communication every single week. So every 7 days, every week, we're going to be in communication with this middle of funnel. Bottom of funnel, you should be talking to multiple times a week minimum. Really, you should be in constant communication with any of these people. So if you haven't talked to them in 3, maybe 4 days max, you need to have your CRM telling you to make sure you're following up with those people. Now, this is how we have been able to manage 10,000 leads that are assigned to our agents in their database. We don't overcomplicate it. We really want to make sure that we're simplifying it, and we do it just by what I just shared. Our top of funnel people, we follow up with every 30 to 60 days. Our middle of funnel, we follow up with weekly. Our bottom of funnel people that are doing deals now, we follow up with multiple times per week. Now, how you do this in your CRM, you're going to have to figure out based on whichever one you're using. It'll work a little bit differently. We use Follow Up Boss, and we just have it set up that if somebody's in the nurture stage and there's no communication the last 30 days, we need to make a phone call. So you can figure this out with your CRM, but you want to make sure you have the cadence for how often you're going to be following up. Now that rolls us into step number 3, which is activity-based follow-up. So while yes, you need to have your stages set up or your segments set up to where if somebody's a nurturer, you're going to call them in 30 days. But if their activities tell you something that they're not sharing with you, you want to make sure you're also able to follow up with that as well too. And this is why it's so important to make sure you have a website for your customers and you have an IDX, which is a home search website. And if you want to check ours out, you can go to allaboutsocal.com, check out that IDX website. But basically, we send listing alerts not through the MLS, we send it through our website. The reason we can do this is we can see all of the activity on our website. So if somebody tells us they're not moving for 2 years, and then 2 weeks later they're looking at 35 listings on our website, we might need to reach out to that person. Maybe they found out they're relocating, maybe they found out they need to sell and they want to buy and upgrade, downsize, whatever it might be. Life happens. But also, people don't necessarily tell you everything, but they will often show you what they're actually looking to do. So you want to have activity-based follow-up. The way that we do this is we have a trigger on our website. Anytime somebody does something meaningful on our website, that lead shows up on our agent's CRM so that we know to follow up and we know what their actual activity was. We can see the houses they're looking at. We can see the pages and the blogs, all those different things that they're looking at so that we know how to follow up with that person. Now, if you're asking, Christian, how do we get people onto the website? Or I have my searches set up, but people aren't really engaging with the website. That's going to be step number 4, and that's where we're going to spend the most time today. One of the things that we do better than most other teams that I know is we drive traffic back to our website. So I'm going to walk you through several tactics here. I have 6 set up. 2 are beginner, 4 are advanced. So if you're not super advanced with marketing, stick with the beginner. If you are advanced and you're doing all 6 of these, you should be driving tons of traffic to your website, which is going to get more activity, which is going to get more conversations, which is going to equal you printing more money. Now that's in the short term. What happens in the long term is you're going to get emails like this. I'm going to put up a screenshot right here of an email that I got from my email newsletter that I've been sending for 3 years. We have never had a conversation with this lead that's been in our database since pretty much day 1, 5 years ago. They sent us this email for 2 listing agreements and a buyer agreement, and we never did anything at all. We literally just reached out to us and said, we want to list 2 properties and buy with you. Can you help us? These are the best possible leads, but that's how you make a database that prints gold. All right, let's dive into these tactics. So on the beginner tactics, number 1 is I already said this, you're gonna send listings through your website, not through the MLS. There's a few different reasons this is important. I already touched on the fact that we can actually see what's going on the website. The part that I didn't mention is if you're sending properties through the MLS, you're doing exactly the same thing that every single other agent in the marketplace is doing. You're all sending properties exactly the same way, to whereas if they're working with our team or you with your IDX website, they're going to be getting properties from your website with your name and your face on it. Yes, some MLSs put your name and stuff like that, but it's not your website. The customer doesn't see that, wow, this person actually has marketing dollars to be able to spend on a website versus every other agent in the marketplace just sending the exact same MLS search. Number 2 is use a seller tool like HomeBot. And if you want to upgrade from HomeBot, Fellow is the best tool for sellers in the entire business. HomeBot's very cheap and easy. Fellow is more expensive. Go with whatever your budget allows. But this is a tool that is going to allow you to give information that is relevant for sellers. And again, this should tie back into your website to where if they're active on the tool, you should be able to follow up with them if it makes sense. So those are the beginner tools. Don't overthink this too much. Call HomeBot, get an account set up, and you should have some sort of website. There's 100 of them to do it. Your brokerage probably provides you with a website with an IDX. Highly recommend just using it. And you have to use your CRM as well too. Okay, let's go to the advanced tactics. Number 1, first and foremost, email newsletter. If you are not already using an email newsletter, I cannot emphasize this enough. It is so important. If you want to see how we do this for our customers, just go to our main website, onyxhomes.com, onyxhomes.com. In the description down below, we'll put it there as well too. Right there on the homepage, you can opt into the newsletter. So once you opt in, you'll get an email and just you'll be on it from there. So here is how this works, is every single week, so on Monday, I write our email newsletter. That email newsletter goes out on Fridays. So on Monday, I write out the email newsletter, and I'll go more detail here in a second. I write out the email newsletter. On Tuesday, I use that email newsletter to film a video just like this one. And ironically enough, this video that I'm making right now actually is an agent-facing email newsletter as well too. So what happens is the reason I share that is you're going to write that email, and then the next day or the same day, you're going to use that email as a script for a video. You're going to make a long form video that is spelling out, probably in more detail, the email that you just typed out. That video then can go on Facebook, it can go on YouTube, it can go on LinkedIn, on any other platforms as well too. Even more brownie points is if you take all of this and you make it a blog on your website. That is you driving content to your website. You can generate organic traffic through this as well too. And in your email, you can link back to your website, and guess what else is on your website? That's right, all the homes for sale as well too. I'm gonna pull up my screen and share this with you really quick. Let me get my screen share up and running because I wanna show you how we do this with our website. And we get a lot of activity every single time from this. Also, our email newsletter works really, really well as well. Okay, so here's what this looks like. I'm gonna go to All About SoCal, which is our home search website, and I'm gonna show you our blog. So if I click over here on the blog side, you can see that we have a good amount of blogs. We've been doing this for about 2 years, and we have about 100 blogs on here. So you can go and see our housing market update. So if you're asking, Christian, what in the world would I possibly talk about? Well, you talk about the basics. You're gonna do a monthly market update every single month. You can see November, December, January. For some reason, we forgot to post February's, but you've got your March housing market update. On here, you've got our video of the housing market update. This is housed on YouTube. And then you've got the market update here. Now, the other thing that's on here is all the other blogs that the consumers can go to, or they can just start searching for homes for sale as well, right? So this is you're gonna drive traffic to the website. I just got a message from an agent today. I'll put this up here from Danielle, where I wrote an email template for our agents to be able to send out, and it drove traffic to the website and got replies. This is what she said back. She said that email is crushing. She's already revived, what did she say, 3 leads? Yeah, she revived 3 dead leads from this email. This is very easy. Do not overcomplicate this. So you're gonna write your email newsletter, and you're gonna email your database every single week for the entire year. That is 52 emails. 12 of those are gonna be monthly market updates. That means you have 40 emails that you're gonna send throughout the rest of the year that are gonna be the most relevant topic you have going on right now. Now, how do you do this? I recommend that you write down the problems that your clients are facing, the questions that you get, and have case studies. So if you have a client that overcame a problem, use that example as a case study. You don't have to tell their name, you don't have to tell the address, but share the story, share that win with your entire database as well too. So this is one absolutely secret power way to do this. Now, the next thing you're gonna do, so this is another step, is you're gonna take your long form videos and you can chop that into short form content. There's 2 different ways to do this. If you have more of a marketing budget, you can maybe pay somebody to take the 15 to 20 minute video that you made long form like this, and you can have them chop it into short form videos as well too. Our video editor does this. The next thing you can do is you could just take that script of the long form video and you can condense that down into 30 to 90 seconds and make a TikTok and a reel and Facebook and shorts and all that stuff. And you can post that short form also. You can just reshoot it in a short form format. Now you are making both long form and short form content, and you don't have the bottleneck of ideas because you have one idea every single week and you're gonna make content based on that idea. And this is gonna build your library of content over a longer period of time. Now, the next thing you're gonna do is share your case studies and share your testimonials. Just like I showed this example of a Slack message from our agent Danielle who said this thing crushed, this is social proof that what I'm talking about actually works. Just like I can share that we have 440 5-star reviews from our clients on Google and YouTube or on Zillow, you can take these as well too, and you can make real life success stories. This is the best type of content. Now, it's not gonna get tons and tons of views, but the people who watch it are the ones that really matter. Now, the last thing is you can run retargeting ads through Meta and Google to your people. Again, your CRM website, if you have an all-in-one type deal like Sierra, like Ylopo, like Chime, like Sync, like whatever, a lot of these will do retargeting to your people who are already on your website. Very cheap, very easy, super easy to get set up. There's agencies all over the place that will do it. Now, if you don't have a budget, forget this one, but this is definitely something that absolutely drives tons of traffic back to your website. More advanced and costs money. So if you're not spending a bunch of money, everything else that I just said was free. Now, all of this is feeding into your CRM and it's telling you who to follow up with. So for example, if I needed to make $100,000 in the next 90 days and my team exploded and I just needed to sell and I didn't have my past clients that I could call on, I would go into my database and I would send an email. I would do a video, I would send an email, and then what I would do is I would follow up based on activity. We have a massive database of leads, and I would call the ones that are clicking on the links in my email first. After I call, text, emailed all of them, I would then call, text, email everybody that opened the email, and then I would send another one and I would rinse and repeat and do it again. And I guarantee that would be the best way for me to get into conversations with absolute strangers in my database, because I have been loving on these people for so long. And that, at the end of the day, you can do this starting today and you can convert leads you already have at a way higher rate. You're gonna start making content which will generate you new leads. You will be able to nurture the leads that are not ready to go right now. So you're gonna make more money now and you're gonna guarantee to print money in the future, because you're gonna be the only agent in your marketplace that is actually adding a tremendous amount of value to your leads. So if you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I put out a video like this or two every single week. And if you like this one, you probably want to check out the email newsletter video that I had that I'm gonna link right here as well too. Again, my name is Christian. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.